welcome to Troublemakers, the podcast. I'm really happy to be here chatting with you today about joy as a revolutionary force. And it's just really wonderful to have you here in Arusha, Tanzania, from Tunisia, where you come from.
Thank you, Phil, for the for the experience and especially for the invitation because um, it's time to talk about queer people in in Africa and from the context that I come from, especially Tunisia and North Africa. It's I don't know if I am allowed to say some bad words, but it's complicated and the system is having a lot of methodology and tactics against activists and against human rights in North Africa. And I'm very happy to be here today in Arusha, Tanzania, with you and with all the team and with beautiful travel.
So, Jouda, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
So my name is Jouda Bougila. I'm a trans woman from Tunisia. I'm a public law student, and okay, I don't like to call myself as activist, but I do have my struggle, and I lead a lot of people in Tunisia. I worked with a lot of organization and association in Tunisia, especially feminist organization and organization which defend the queer's right in Tunisia. So I worked as a listening agent with Damj Association, the Tunisian Association for Justice and Equality. I worked with Marsad Nisa, which is an observatory to defend the women's rights in Tunisia, especially through the working to improve and to apply the law number 58 of 2018, which was a very revolutionary law in Tunisia to defend and to guarantee the women's rights. Adding to that, I'm a freelancer trainer. I worked with Avocats Frontier, which in English called Lawyers Without Borders. And right now, I'm a project coordinator with the Observatory to Defend the Right of Difference, which is contained around 103 associations in all Tunisia. And every association, they do have that struggle against the system, and they are working to defend one of the human rights.
So, this conversation around joy as a revolutionary force is a very difficult one for me. I have chronic depression. I have body pain. I live with this. I have 3 kids, so I'm always running around, and you've seen me running around trying to get things done.
Yes, a lot of time. You are always running. But yeah, you do have your struggle, and we all do.
Yeah, and of course then there's, just making ends meet under capitalism, which is difficult, yeah?
Yeah.
It's difficult for most of us. And I wouldn't consider myself somebody who shows people that I experience joy, although I do. The kind of joy I experience doesn't, it's not seen by others the way I think of joy when I see others experiencing joy. And also we're in this historical moment that is very heavy. The rights of queer people is something, that is going to show up in this conversation. The repressive conditions that queer people, trans people live under, the authoritarian conditions and economic conditions that so many of us live under. And then we have, the climate crisis. We have all these sort of compounding things, the rise of fascism, things seem to be getting bad.
Yes, even like adding to your words, there is like this huge representation and the winning of the very right system, and it's something very terrible. There is something going on in this world, internationally and even like locally. The system that we are in, they are going through a lot of tactics and a lot of strategy to fight against human rights and to, I don't know, to defend the capitalist system and the white agenda and the north white agenda as a system. So there's nothing. There is things going on in this world, and we need to open our eyes and to think, because those things are impacting even our mental health and our journey every day. And we need, as you said, to have this joy, because if you don't have this joy, we can lose ourselves. And in all the middle of this fight, we need to consider ourselves as um, very important things, because without ourselves we can't continue. So we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to have this joy even with all the struggle all day and all night.
Can you tell us about some of the conditions that you and your comrades are under in North Africa? I think if we're going to talk about joy, we need to at least articulate what obstacles we have to overcome in order to even get close to talking about joy.
Of course. Okay, as I said, I'm part of a multi-association or several association, a human rights association and organization in Tunisia. But I'm a member of some others um, collective in Morocco, which like Sqaf Collective, which is a queer collective in Morocco, because in Morocco you can't have the right to create association or organization. You need to work with the system, but you are creating this association or organization to fight against that system. And I'm a member of the sex workers' rights movement in Morocco, and we are creating right now coalition for queer activists in North Africa to build ourselves as a group. Then we are like we want to create that networking or like Maghreb coalition for defending the queers' right in North Africa. So let's come to the context in North Africa right now. Believe me, there is a lot of things goes on, especially in Tunisia, in Algeria, Morocco. So, for example, in Tunisia, me and our comrades, we are under the pressure of a very dictator system. We thought that after the revolution of 2010, 2011 in Tunisia, things gonna be joyful for us, and we do have that hope of to reach the freedom of expression, the freedom of speech, the freedom of going out without any harassment, going out without any assault from cops, going out without thinking what's going on, what's going to happen to me today if I wear that thing or if I do some makeup as a queer person. But even as a human Tunisian human or a Tunisian activist or whatever, it's very hard to go out right now because our president, he's very dictator and he's using the power of the interior ministry. So as a flash for the people and for the people especially who's going to stand against him, he is doing all his speech through or from the interior ministry, which he wants to say that I do have the support of the cops and the policemen, so you need to be aware and to stay back. This is the first thing, and the second thing, he's changing everything. He changed the constitution in 2000 and in the last July, into 25 of July. He changed the constitution, and then he changed the election law for his benefits. So this election law, he affect even like the representative of women in the parliament. So there is no representative for women in the parliament, which is can work against what we had done in the past years, especially to provide and to defend women's rights. And Now there is like around 7% of the parliament just women, and the rest are male. And we are afraid that thing gonna, even against the thing that we have done in the past years, and this thing threats even the woman representative in the like the political view and the um, political image in Tunisia, firstly, and secondly, it can provide the patriarchy system and uh, have support for the patriarchy system in the image that there is no a lot of representation of women in the parliament. And he even changed the law, the election law, which is going with his desire, and there is no representation of the political parties. So it's election through individuals. So this things is going hard because in Tunisia we don't have like such experience in the election through individuals. Firstly, and secondly, this kind of system it's not working in like even in the modern and like system in I don't know in Switzerland or others other system. And after that, our president he want to change the law which organize the organization and association in Tunisia. He want to take control, to create a ministry to take control of all the funds that the organization and association get through fundraising. And he even want to close or to put end for some organization and human rights organization, and he's declaring that through his speech or his statement what and he's sharing that in like the official page on Facebook, on Twitter of the presidency in Tunisia. So the last speech he it was like 2 or 3 days ago. It was a very racist and fascist statement against like African people like us working in Tunisia, and they came to Tunisia to find better life, but because of the patriarchy and because of the heritage and the culture that we still fighting against in Tunisia, there is that racist system in the people, not all the people, but the president is using that to encourage his work and to give clarity and to give that people support for his work. And after like that statement, there is a lot of fights and a lot of discussions starting now in Tunisia. There is a lot of posts and a lot of media content and digital campaign against like the existence of sub-Saharan in Tunisia. They even want to create a law against like the sub-Saharan workers in Tunisia. And for now, there is a lot of arrestation against the activists in Tunisia, especially the people who was participate in the manifestation of the 18th of July, the last July, which was a manifestation against the new constitution. And then we back to the street in the 21, 22, and the 23 of the last July to say no to the new constitution. And right now, there is a lot. There is 4 arrestation for activists, which they were a part of the group, the group who construct this manifestation and those actions. And the charge are working with forging system and getting money from forging system and beating the cops. Of course, like when we don't have any charge in Tunisia, we say you beat the cops, and through like the article number 125 of the penal code. Even like if you don't say good morning to a cab or like a public employee, you go to jail for 1 year and 6 months. So this is a bullshit. And especially they are using this charger, this like laws to charge us without doing anything. We went to the street to ask for our rights, and we thought that after the revolution things gonna change for our best, but we had a lot of opposite, let me say opposite in Tunisia, through a lot of political parties from the left to the right, especially the right people, especially the Islamic people. And when the president ends the work of the parliament in 2021 July, we were or 22, we were like 21. We were so happy that things gonna change for our benefits, and the parliament it's like contain a lot of Islamic people, but we found out that he's more dangerous than the Islamic people. He's fascist, he's racist, he's against the women's right, he's against the queer's right, and he's a dictator. It changed everything to fit him: the constitution, the election law, the representative and the member of the council of judge in Tunisia and the commission of judge. And now he want to put end to the most revolutionary groups, which is like the Syndicat of Workers, the National Syndicat of Workers. And it was like it was created like even before the independence in Tunisia, but it has like this syndicat had a lot, and until now they did a lot of work, especially in the area of the revolution 2010 2011. They do have that huge impact for the revolution, and they did have a lot of impact after the revolution. And even though they get like the World Peace Prize in Sweden in 2014 and 2015 through their works to to defend human rights in Tunisia and to support the freedom and the freeness in Tunisia.
Jouda, I wonder if in Tunisia people really go around saying good morning to cops.
So before the pandemic, the COVID-19. So before that, the political parties in Tunisia and the people who getting like charged and working in parliament as a member of the people, they were like very, very supportive for the, as we call it, like the police state. So they are working through a lot of supporting the cops and police to keep their position in the system and keep their position in like controlling the people and taking not taking care but taking even the soul of the people and their daily bread. So there were invitation in the parliament, or there is law where to support policemen and cops, and this law it's against the people for the benefits of the cops. So this law was just to protect the cops and their emotion and their health and their mental health through any threats in the street or in the house. So at the first they allotted the cops to back home with their armies, like their guns or something like that, to defend themselves if there is any problems. And it was like, what the hell is going on? Because we all know that if you try to start a fight with them, they're gonna like shoot you and, oh, that person, he tried to kill me, or that person tried to beat me. So it's like hell to think about that. And secondly, they wanted to pass that law to protect the cops and give them that power to isolate and threat a lot of people. For example, in Tunisia, we are the only country, I think, in the world that policemen and cops have a syndicat to
Policemen and cops have a
syndicat.
syndicat?
Syndicat, which mean naqaba. Let me translate it. Syndicate.
Syndicate. Like a different from a union, though. Yeah.
It's different from union, but it's supposed the syndicate gonna like defend the workers' rights, especially. But in Tunisia, the CAP syndicate or the policeman syndicate, it's working. They do have their pages on Facebook, and they do have that such power in the street. They are supporting themselves. Like even when there were court against a cop because he did something bad. So while the court, the other member of the syndicate, they come with their cars and did a circle around the courtroom, outside the court, and they enter to the court and they take their friend, the cop, out of the court in the eyes of the judge. So this is happening in Tunisia. Even like after manifestations and after like going to some manifestation in Tunisia, those cops share a lot of private information of the activists and the people who was in the front line in the manifestation. Their private address, their private number, their private photos, and their in their pages. And this thing threats a lot of people in Tunisia. They didn't have the ability to go out from their house, especially activists. They break down their house without any improvement or not improvement, with any certificate or any proofs to enter their house. They kidnap a lot of activists without any permission from the authorities. They even sexually harassed activists. They tried and they rape activists in their cars and their arrestation spaces. And even like they did some manifestation against the queer people and any person who handle a piercing in Tunisia, like I think 2 years ago. So we are living in a condition of fascist, racist president with the help of lots of misogyny, patriarchy, anti-human rights dogs, which is the cops.
So we're facing colonial legacy laws. We're facing a captured revolution. A decade ago, you were hopeful that things would change, and things have regressed to fascist conditions. There was a palace coup, and Tunisia was captured. Everyday Tunisians are facing all these challenges and more: sexual harassment. I can't even summarize all the things that you have detailed. On top of all of that, you're an openly trans woman, working with sex workers across North Africa. Let's get to the heart of our conversation here. Despite all of this, where do you find your joy? How do you find it?
After all these things that I shared about like the Tunisian context, I didn't talk about the economic crisis in Tunisia right now, because if you don't have milk or coffee in Tunisia, and we don't have the necessary things for our life, I'm talking about the old people. But coming to queer people, it's very, very bad situation that we are living in or working in. I'm gonna come to the joy, but I want to talk a little bit about the queer context in North Africa, especially, and what the difficulties and the struggle that queer people facing in North Africa. And this is because like colonization and the white patriarchy system that we are living in Tunisia. Let's start with the laws. In Tunisia, you can't be openly queer, or in your secret, you can't be queer. So you are facing a charge to go to jail for up to 3 years, and maybe more if they add some charges to you. And those are some laws coming from the cycle of the French colonization, and this law exists through the Penal Code, which is written in 1930 by the French colonization in Tunisia, and it's still right now exists until now in 2000 and in 2023, and they don't like to change it because they are using it as charges, especially against the activist. Queer people in Tunisia, even if they share some love messages or some photos in WhatsApp or I don't know others application, they can get arrested because when you're stopped by cops, they look into your phone, and if he finds something, he charge you and he take you to arrestation without your acceptation. They can like right now there is a law here, like our president of course creates another law called law number 54, which is give the cops and the authority the right to check our phones and to look into our phones and our data and our PC without our acceptation, and they are saving our data through the telecom the tel like I don't know how to say it.
Telecommunications companies.
Yes, for two years, and this is very difficult. Like not very difficult, but it's very. I don't know how to say it, but we are going through a lot of shitty thing in Tunisia. And there is another things that queer people facing while their daily life. They don't have access to mental health, to public health institution, to public university, to public studies. They can't be openly gay in their family. They can be kicked out from their houses, from their universities, from their works, like without even any not providing or I can't find the word, without any support from anyone. So you don't have the family support, you don't have the society support, you don't have the support of anyone, but you need to create your own support. Even like the same image in Algeria, because the system here is using the agenda against the queer people, and any project contain any rainbow flag right now just to pass their laws, just like to create that polemy in the in the system and in the public image, to pass their laws and to pass their benefits for their benefits. Even right now in Morocco, there is a lot of arrestation against like the queer people and the queer folks, especially the people who's like out as queer and they are leader. So we do have there is two of our friends, trans woman. She's a leader in the sex workers movement in Morocco. She have a court today, 24, 23, in Morocco, and they charge her about maybe they're gonna charge her about 6 months of jail. And another friend of ours, Moroccan trans woman activist, she's too, and she's the executive director of SCAF Collective. So as we can see, being openly gay or openly queer or openly trans in North Africa and Tunisia especially, it's not allowed. You're gonna be beaten in the street and taken by the cops to the arrestation, and then they're gonna take you to a doctor to check your anus if you are if it's openly open, you are homosexual and you are going to jail. So just imagine putting, like, there is 4 cops putting a person in a table, and they take off all their clothes with the existence of a doctor, and the doctor put his 2 fingers in the anus, or let me say the asshole of the person, to see if it's open. So this person is, they are homosexual and they need to go to jail. And this is even not scientific. It's not scientific, but anal test still exists in Tunisia, and even after the UPR and the recommendation that given to Tunisia through like others countries, the Tunisian representative should stand and say, we don't have anal test in Tunisia, but we do have anal test in Tunisia. We do have the data. We do have all the data, and we do have access to the victims through a lot of association and organization in Tunisia. And we do have that project called All for All, which is a project in Tunisia working through 3 organizations, which is the Observatory to Defend the Right of Difference, Avocats Frontières, or Lawyers Without Borders, and Minority Rights Group International. So this program, it's about like collect documentation of any harassment or sexual harassment or any kind of assault or threats or harassment going against the queer people. So we do have the data, and all the things that said, like, through the representative of the system, it's not right. So we do have the anal test exists in Tunisia. The arrestation of queer person and queer folks still exists in Tunisia based on the Article 2030. And the public threats and the public messages against the queer people still exist in Tunisia every day, in like the social media, the radio, the in the public institution, private institution. So it's like hell. But in the middle of this whole thing, we need to have the joy to survive, to resist, and to, I don't know, to run, or even like going slowly in our path. But without joy, we can't live our life. So, as queer people or queer folks in Tunisia, just the joy is left for us, nothing else, because you are facing a lot of struggle, a lot of threats every day. Just imagine you are waking up in the morning and you are thinking about what you're gonna wear. You don't like to be bitten or threatened in the street, so you are thinking what you are gonna wear. If this color gonna like be very visible for the people, and they're gonna like say, oh, okay, this is trans. Just like waking up from the bed and thinking if it's I'm able to go out or not. It's a huge thing. Just human being standing in front of the door and waiting and thinking, do I am looking okay in the eyes of the society and the people to go out? It's okay to go out like that and thinking that I'm gonna be bitten or threatened in the street. It's okay to go out by something in the night and you know there is cops outside your building, just is like seeing you where are you going or controlling your moves. It's okay. Uh, you close your door and you put a chair like behind the door. If anyone gonna break the door, you're gonna wake up quickly and be ready for any bite or anything. So it's not that easy. Even like safe places, okay, they exist a little bit, especially through like the spaces, uh, through like the association spaces and the organization spaces. But the university, you can't be queer in the university, in the public institution, and you can't get a health control, you can get a health assistance or something like that. But the thing that I found in the queer people, the most amazing thing in queer people in South Africa, in North Africa, in all Africa, and in Tunisia, it's the joy. We need to get that joy. We need to have that joy to live our life. I I I
That
can.
sounds good, Jouda, but how?
Okay. How? Let me tell you some things that we did in Tunisia, especially the organization and the association there, which were working to defend the queers' right in Tunisia. First of all, there is not a lot of association and organization working to defend the queers' right in Tunisia, but we do have. Especially, they get like their recognition after the revolution. But now, our president, he want to take to close this association and organization, and he said that this queer agenda is against the Islam, and we can't defend this right, and it's not normal, and it's against like the nature. So what we did to create our joy. For example, as a member of the Damj Association, the Tunisian Association for Justice and Equality, we do have a 3 office in Tunisia. The first one in the capital, and this office taking control of around 10 region of the northeast of Tunisia. And there is another office in the northwest of Tunisia, which is in the Kaf. El Kaf, it's a region in Tunisia. And there is another office in the south, which is in Sfax. And we call Sfax the capital of the south in Tunisia. So these 3 offices, they are providing and giving some support for the queer people. So firstly, they are a safe place for queer people. They are welcome for in any time. We are working like Monday to Friday from 9 to 5. And to create the joy, we created a lot of clubs. For example, in Sfax, we're creating a club for feminists. It's feminist club. We do have like the sex workers club, and we do have a lot of meeting. If you do have like a birthday, in Ramadan, for example, we do have I'm not a believer, but there's a lot of believer queer people. Like as a human, they are free, but so we prepare the place for the fasting, and we cook together, and we eat together, and we sing together, and we are trying to create our joy. So, and this thing, even people who don't have that family support, or they are kicked off from their family, they can find a second family to hold them and to feel that family, because as you all know, family is a sort of joy. So we want to create that feeling, and and reborn it again. So yeah, through those clubs, and through this those events and this special occasion, we want to create the joy in ourselves and for the other folks. And there is another things we created in Damj Association, which is the hotline. So we do have 3 hotline. As I said, there is a hotline in Tunis, in Kaf and Sfax, and it's taking control of all the Tunisian region. So this hotline are 24/7 available for any queer folks. Sorry. For any queer folks. And okay, so first of all, we can offer a listening session for people where if they are struggling or they do have like any dark thoughts or something like that, we can offer it online. or we can offer it in directly in person. So we do have like this. We can offer listening session through mobile or online things, and we can, like, if the person they don't feel okay to have this online meeting, we can they can come to our office, and we're gonna like help them for the transportation reimbursement, all those kind of things. This is the first thing. Second thing, we do like this urgent assistance, especially for the people who get arrested but in night or something like that. So we are working on partnership with Lawyers Without Borders or Avocats Frontières, which they do have like around 45 lawyers always available for any arrestation of queer person or folks in not in all the region of Tunisia, but the lawyers can be available in that area, and they can go. Thirdly, we're working in partnership with some organization and association and individual, which they are specialists in psychological therapy and those kind of things. So we are trying to help the queer people to access to the mental health, not institution but the mental health care. So we do have like a specialist in the office of Sfax and the specialist in the office of Tunis, and we do orientation for queer folks for another organization which called in French called Psychologue du Monde, in English called Psychologue of Psychologue of the World, which is international organization, and we have a partnership with the Tunisian office, and we can orient the queer people to them to take care and to take care of the mental health of the queer people, and to get the access to specialist friendly therapist. And coming to Joy too, we do have some festival. So to create some joy, because we are struggling every day, there is some artistic festival. Let me name it. There is MKFF, which is organized by Mawjoudin. We exist association, which is association defending the queers' right in Tunisia. So the last December we had like a festival about 1 week or 4 days, something like that, between those numbers, and it were a lot of voguing shows, like movie shows, shows like those movies are queer movies, and there were competition between like movies from all over, especially the North Africa, the Africa and the Middle East, but there is participation from all over the world. And in that place, in that space, in that time, you can see the joy of the queer people, because they had the possibility to be happy and to be who they are in a safe place. So it's not an everyday things. It's occasionnellement. It's a like short period of time for people, for day per year or 1 week per year. It's nothing, but it's a very huge, joyful vibes you get. And when you are feeling down, or you are like have this dark thoughts, and you are taking the phone and calling like the hotline of the association, you know that you're gonna find someone. And just this act, you're gonna find someone listening to you, and someone who is there to give you, like, not give you, and to stand in solidarity with you. This is joyful things. And you know, with this very details thing, or this petty things, you can find the joy. Because um, unless the struggle, like the difficulty, the everyday difficulties, those occasion of joyful, or the joy, or you are finding someone to talk, or you can find someone to talk, the thing give you that feeling of surviving, and that feeling of resisting. And we can call it joy revolutionary action, because with all this bullshit that is around you, all this threats, or this beat, or this rules, article, heritage, culture, whatever, you still exist. You still have that thing inside you, even when you are trying to to suicide. You are you are you are feeling this inner joy to continue your, not your journey, but you continue your path and your battle against their system. That strong things.
Mm. Beautiful. If joy is a revolutionary force, then it means that we need to kind of, create it together. I think there's a lot of, sometimes I feel even guilty, scrolling through Instagram or something and seeing these, mental health accounts saying, oh, you need to try this, this, and this to be happier. I think it falls into this very neoliberal narrative that we as individuals have this kind of full power to control our own happiness all the time. What is strikingly beautiful to me about the examples that you shared is how there's a community that came up against the odds, against all of the challenging external conditions, to create something that would sustain them. There was this interdependence, this mutual support, of one another, this organizing that has to be done to make a hotline or to develop a festival, to create those safe spaces and support systems. So I think that's one thing for me that I'm thinking about in this conversation is not just like, what can I do as an individual to be joyful? I think that can also be a trap if we ignore what we have to do collectively to support one another for greater joy.
Yes. Let me be optimist, not optimist. Let me be clear in this point. I think this occasional joy and this collective joy, it's a sort of, it's thing can help us to resist. It thing can help us to organize. It thing can help us to feel that we belong to this country, to Tunisia, to North Africa, to Africa. It's thing that like reminds us that we do have families, we do have like people around us, we do have that, like this support of other queer folks. And I think step by step, by creating this safe space, by creating this safe festivals, by creating this method of supporting and stand in solidarity with each other, and especially in Tunisia and North Africa, and especially for queer people, it's a sort of organizing, but it's not in the title, in the big title, but there is something going on, this organizing things. It's I think it's the beginning of revolution. So we are struggling every day, but we do have some joy. We can find our joy through our collective work, or through our not love for each other, because love is a huge word, but supporting each other and stand in solidarity with each other. Those things can create a very strong relationship between the queer folks in Tunisia, and they can create a community, The community can create a movement, and that movement can revolt and resist and survive through this methodology that we are creating and to stand against the system. Okay, I see it as a step, but it's a huge step to own our rights and to defend our rights and to say, here we are exist, and here we are fighting against your system, and we are fighting against your patriarchy and your like heritage and culture that they are not supporting us as a queer people. But this joy, this like this periodic joy and this collective joy, it's the path, the real path to our resisting and to our surviving, and to create that sense of community and that sense of change that we want to reach. So I think through the struggle, coming to the joy as a community and as periodic joy, it can help us to create that the sense of the community and the sensation of you belong to this people. You have those people like in your, like you can find them in your shoulders. They can you can rise together, and through the joy you can find the family, the support. And I think like to revolt, you just need to feel that you belong, you have a family, and you have the support, and there is people stand in solidarity with you. So with this joy, you can get the power, the necessary power to change the reality and to resist and to revolt and to go out to the street, and you know there is people always gonna stand with you. I don't know, association, organization, or individual, but you do have that support and you are not alone. So coming to this word, not alone. So the joy, it's personal joy and it's collective joy. So you're gonna feel joyful. You as a person, individual, you're gonna feel joy as a group, and you will feel that you are belong to that place, you have a family, and you have the support. So when you have these three things, you're gonna resist and you're gonna survive, and you're gonna, even when you have that dark thoughts or this peak of sadness, you just need to pick up the phone and call one of the people that they are standing for you, and you're gonna find the joy. Even like that person, he's struggling that day, but you're gonna find a very hopeful person. They gonna like answer you, and they gonna support you, and this supporting each other and standing for each other and be the family of each other is the thing that can help people to stand up for their rights and to fight against this system and to gain or to win the battle and to win their freedom, because it's always about freedom. And we need to know that, and not to know, but we need to clarify this, that queer people existed in the past and they will exist now, and we will exist in the future. So we need to stop that the speech of queer thing, it's a Western white thing. No, queer people exist in any land in the world, and we need to support queer people and to stand by queer people as human rights activists.
Thank you for your time today, Jouda.
Always welcome. Thank you for having me, and thanks for your time, and thanks especially for coming through the queer battle in Africa, and especially in North Africa, Tunisia.
I hope when you return to Tunis, you're full of joy.
Happy New Year.
I hope so too.
May we all have a vision now and then of a world where every neighbor is a friend. We love this song by ABBA called Happy New Year. Hi, I am Nadia and
Morika.
coming to you from MSTCDC in Arusha, Tanzania. The Troublemakers podcast wishes you all the best as you end the year 2024 and begin the year
2025.
We thank you for sharing your moments with us and tapping into our community that sees the world differently. More to come.
More to share.
As John Lewis once said, get in good trouble.